A trading holdout is not simply the last date range in a report. It is evidence you deliberately refuse to see while building the strategy. That matters because every visible result can influence a rule, a parameter, or a threshold. Once the answer is known, the data may still describe history, but it cannot serve again as independent proof. Sealed has 4 requirements. The holdout dates are declared before access. The strategy's rules, code, parameters, costs, and data treatment are frozen. The acceptance gate is signed before any result appears. And an access ledger says 0. A folder name, a final stage label, or a promise to stay objective cannot replace those controls. Here is a clearly illustrative plan. On June 30th, 2030, candidate A is frozen. Its sealed interval runs from July 1st, 2030 through June 30th, 2031. The freeze receipt records the rule set, code fingerprint, parameters, cost model, market, bar interval, and data cleaning rules. Change any one of them and you have a new candidate. Before opening anything, sign the decision rule. In this teaching example, require at least 40 closed trades, net profit above $0, profit factor above 1.15, and maximum drawdown no worse than -$6,000. These are illustrative thresholds, not current field policy. The current source gate has no trade count floor. The important move is choosing every bar and baseline before seeing the holdout. On July 1st, 2031, the ledger still shows 0 accesses. An operator verifies the freeze fingerprint and gate version, then opens the sealed bars once. One replay runs with the frozen costs and rules. The seal breaks, access count moves to 1, and an immutable receipt records the input fingerprint, start time, finish time, and exact output. No second attempt chooses the official result. Suppose that one illustrative replay closes 46 trades, earns $7,300 net, posts a profit factor of 1.21, and reaches a maximum drawdown of -$5,400. Each value crosses its pre-registered rail, so this hypothetical candidate passes that hypothetical gate. We are demonstrating interpretation, not reporting a market result, and the first receipt remains the only official look. What did that pass support? Only this. The frozen candidate met the frozen rule on one previously unseen sample. It did not prove the edge will persist, that the research search avoided selection bias, that fills and costs will match live trading, or that the strategy has enough capacity. It also did not authorize deployment. One fresh test is meaningful because its claim stays narrow. Now compare that clean mechanism with the current source boundary. The interval from June 30th, 2021 to July 6th, 2023 was already used by the strategy building workflow with a profit factor above 1 rule. The current configuration names the same interval and includes the same rule. Whatever its result, that overlap means the period cannot honestly be called untouched, sealed, or independent. The source contains a sensible overlap check. It can label pre-registration windows builder visible and reduce them to annotation-grade evidence. But that check is not attached to the current execution path, so we cannot borrow confidence from its existence. A control protects the claim only when the route actually carries its state into the result receipt. The misuse is simple. Peek at the result, change a stop, and rerun. Move the threshold after seeing a near miss. Compare several variants on the sealed dates. Open the period for diagnostics, then call it untouched later. Or reset the access counter because the code changed. Each action may support research, but everyone burns that period for independent testing. After exposure, do not erase the receipt. Mark the period burned for independence, record who opened it and why, and keep its measurements as historical annotation. If you revise the strategy, assign a new candidate fingerprint and a new freeze receipt. Then seek genuinely new evidence, future data that accrues after registration, or another untouched market sample declared before use. So when should you open a trading holdout? Only when the candidate cannot change, the dates and sample floor are fixed, the gates are signed, the access ledger reads 0, and you are prepared to accept the first result. Open once. Preserve the receipt. Keep the conclusion narrow. If the data was already exposed, say so, stop calling it independent, and let genuinely new evidence earn the next claim.